Hey Beth, how are you? I'm very excited to get you your 12-week personalized strength program here. Though I did have a problem when I went to share it with the Shutterhuff at Gmail, it told me that there was not a Training Peaks account associated with it. So I did just email you and Debbie to see if we can get this figured out. I did also add it to your personal Training Peaks that I do have access to. So we've just got to make sure it worked because I did that with someone else and it didn't come through for some reason. So we'll stay active on that. Now, in your program itself, we're taking a very different approach for you. There is a document here that we're going to look at. There's a link right here, which will take you to this document. So if you load the program, you load it for today, Monday, March 31st, and you'll be able to go right over to this strength program assessment summary form. So here's where the link will be over here. I think that based on our conversations this year, we are training to compete. So I didn't put necessarily competitive. It doesn't mean no. What it means is I think the focus as we have it this year is to learn how to be more competitive as we go through, not to just compete. And this is really important because it's the mentality we're bringing to things. And I think as per our personal coaching on the bike, I really think this is going to bring us a lot of success with that mentality of training to compete. So we're really like a blacksmith. We're shaping that sword to get sharper to be able to be used. So if you want to change that, we can. But I wanted to note that because I do think that goes with your mentality here and will serve us extremely well over the next couple of weeks here. Now, some good things that you have going on. You got a really solid squat pattern. Your posture looks pretty darn good and your overhead movements are looking and moving really well. And that is a huge thing for a cyclist and are all testaments to how well you've taken care of yourself over the years. The posture, we want to try and get the upper body and lower body to work together. Now, work is the main word here. We're not just looking to tie them together, which is kind of what we were doing in the BaseCamp or what we were doing in the BaseCamp program. We're going to get some solid work. And because your stated goal was to improve upper body strength and abilities, we're going to do it in a very different way than you've probably seen before. We're going to work on giving you a hinge pattern, but we're going to do it in a different roundabout way because you really like a Romanian or stiff leg deadlift and then you round your back. We're going to give you another option and we're going to do this in a way that's going to help you learn how to produce proximal stiffness to get hip strength through range of motion. And what this is going to do is give you more options when you fatigue, allowing the body to tackle tougher terrain and to keep the power and abilities up for a longer period of time. There's a couple other things here that you can look in. It's about 1.25. Again, that link is in the program. Now, a few things from your assessment. Now, number one is with the single leg hand behind head, we do see that on both sides, the right a little bit more than the left, that you do have a hip hike a little bit. The waistband you can see shifts just a bit, and then when you go to the other side, we actually see the same thing as well. And the interesting thing is it's that left side that's actually not as stable. So when we take the overall balance is good, but when we go to the single leg hip lift assessment, when your left leg is working, you're much less stable on that side. So this is going to be something that we work on. We're going to go right after this in our warm-up, our breath work with heel elevated reset and a supine 90-90 breath, driving better hip internal and external rotation. This is going to do a wonderful job for you to help improve strength, range of motion, and stability. But this is something we really want to work in. So if you watch that left leg, you're going to see kind of twist a little bit and then you come up versus the right side. Sorry, my upper keyboard decided to stop working, so I don't have delete plus or dash. There you go. So you can see on that right side, it's much more stable from the get-go. Even there's a tiny bit, but it's not like the other side where there's a twist. There's a little bit of wobble, but that's more the body trying to figure stuff out. Now, the feet set rotation looked absolutely fantastic. This is one of the best ones I've seen in quite some time, to be honest. If we take a look at your right side, right here, and then we look at your left side, which was right here, right? So if we take you one side to the other, so 17 seconds, and it should be 7 seconds. There you go. So if you look one to the other, you're pretty darn close to one another, right? The head is coming all the way back around, that shoulder's at midline. We see that you're able to rotate about the hips. Let's go back here again. and you see on the other side, there is a little bit of a tendency to shift away from that left hip, and a little bit of unweighting of that left ankle. And that for me is enough that we're going to really go after that. So these are going to be some of the main things. Now, because you've got an event this weekend, the Flint Hills 40, which we brought down a little bit for the distance, it's a really light week to start. So really we're starting with our main things like we just talked about. Heel elevated reset, supine 90-90 hip switch with inhale. You'll notice there are 3 sets of these. You can move back and forth between the 2 of them. So A1, A2, A1, A2, A1, A2. You don't have to take a lot of time. Or if you like it better, you can do all 3 sets of A1, rest for 30 seconds between sets, and then all 3 sets of A2. I'm really leaving this up to you to find what feels best for you. But we do want to make it either 3 of 1 or back and forth without much rest. We do want to get the pelvic floor, which are the deep hip rotators, and your mid back and your sides, to be able to move better. Now, some of the targeted areas that we're going to have throughout your warm-up is going to be armadillo rolls. We want to get you to be able to also round that lower back. Quadruped fire hydrants, we're working on pushing the upper body and building strength and endurance and getting the glute med min complex to work. And one-arm kettlebell, dead bug kettlebell, same side reach, working on stiffness and keeping you nice and still. Now, like I talked about in the assessment, we're working on getting the upper and body to work together, not just to tie together. So we have some really fun and interesting challenges for you. Band overhead squats. So this is a really tough one. You'll see the gentleman in here is doing quite a bit work to keep his rib cage down and his arms pulled back. You'll use a 1/2 inch band anchored right around chin height. It is extremely difficult. We're not expecting you to get full range of motion for the squat because the idea is we have a squat pattern while we're getting the upper body and midsection to work together. Now next there, also same gentleman, what a coincidence. We have isometric back on bench hip lift, weight on hips. So this is going to be another big one for you. This is how we're going to load the hinge pattern for you and get those glutes and abs to be able to cooperate together. Now, the other way we're going to do this is we are going to go ahead and work on your hinge pattern with a head supported hip hinge, which is going to be on your day 2. Here we go. It's going to be actually the next iteration towards the end of the block. And the whole idea here is we are really going to be working on loading the hip, not through a hip hinge pattern. So here, head supported dumbbell alternating rows and dumbbell curl lying against incline. So we have quite a bit of incline bench stuff here. So know that you're gonna have to be able to support the bench up, but there's a whole bunch of stuff we're working on. I'm really excited to see what you think. We've got some pretty complex things in here, but we're going to make them simple. So focus on the basics of the exercise. You do have a couple of the videos that have audio rather, so please make sure to listen to that because that will help you go through. And I'm really excited to get this to you and get you started. Have a great next 12 weeks, and I'm looking forward to seeing some great stuff from your way.